Hi, I'm Dana. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am back for another chat. I am here to talk about 7 Years to Surrender, My Journey to Faith. This is a book I published back in November 2025. And yeah, there's a link in the description of how to purchase it. I would greatly appreciate your support. But I had a book signing last weekend and it was amazing. The book signing was actually an afterthought. So I published the book in November, and I was just kind of going along, promoting it on social media. And right after I published it, a few people asked if I was going to do a book signing. And I was like, sure. So it was an afterthought. So I started doing my research. I watched some videos on the YouTube, of course, pulled up some blogs on Pinterest. Like I tried to, do my homework like I usually do. And I started searching for venues back in probably mid-November. And since it was around the holidays, nobody responded. So I continued to reach out to places even through December. Nobody responded. So I just chalked it up to it being the holidays, whatever. But I kept sending emails, kept calling. And so after the holidays passed, I believe I continued to reach out to people or places like bookstores, libraries, um, other venues in the area that looked aesthetically pleasing for different events, as such as a book signing or a book event. I called one library and I finally got a yes. And I booked a date. First, I booked a date in February, the beginning of February. And then I realized something else was going on. I can't remember what. And so I changed the date to the 21st of February. So everything was moving along. I started doing the planning, sending out notifications, deciding what I actually wanted in the actual space that I was setting up, getting different things together that I was finding on Pinterest. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I call you back?
What? Who are you talking to?
I record a video.
Oh, go ahead. All right.
Thank
All right. I'm gonna be
you.
working in 30 minutes.
Awesome. Bye bye.
All right. All right.
So like I said, I was just doing different things as far as like ordering more books, ordered bookmarks. I knew I wanted bookmarks to pass out. I was thinking about giving out gift bags of different things, but I didn't want to spend too much money. Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. So I was just trying to keep it very minimal. I just wanted to have people come out, discuss the book, have a small Q&A, and then sign some books and hopefully sell some books. So I didn't want to have it be a full-blown production. So my best friend was helping me, and we were talking about it like as far as like having some snacks or if we should have refreshments. So we did have some refreshments. Um, what else? Um, One of the blogs that I read mentioned having some tablecloths for book signings, and I wanted to have like a little sheet where the price of the book and a QR code was there for anybody that wanted to pay electronically. So I had that printed out. So that was pretty much it. Those were the main things that I found as far as me doing my homework and that I needed to get done. So I did that. I booked the spot, the library. I went and checked it out. Well, first I talked to the lady at the library, and I booked the venue for 2 hours. So that was the time that I wanted to have the book signing. Well, I missed the part where I should have allotted time for setup and breakdown after the actual book signing was over, like having time to actually pack up all of my things in a timely fashion and get out of the venue. By the way, the venue was free. The library did offer a free space, which was amazing. Even the other places that I found several bookstores. Most of the venues that I found had a small fee, like between 30 to $100. Like it kind of varied, but it was still within my budget. But like I said, those places never called me back because this was kind of like an afterthought. Planning for it during the holidays, it wasn't the best time. That would be a thing that I would recommend. If you want to have a book signing, you have to kind of plan in advance, several months in advance. I didn't know that. So I knew I wanted a small event. Like I was planning on around 50 people. When I finalized the space at the library, it only fit up to 30 people. So I was like, fine. I went ahead and booked it anyway. I went on to Eventbrite. It's a website that you can advertise your events and push it through social media. And also, I promoted it through my church. I started advertising it about a month in advance, so middle of January. I sent out my first notification about the event. I only had 25 tickets available in case, people just showed up because I kind of expected that. Maybe a week before the event, I called the place again to get some additional logistics, and I realized that they had booked another event like right before mine. So I didn't allot any time to set up before my event. That was the number one mistake. Nor did I really allow time after my event. So the library closed at 5 p.m. on Saturdays. My event was supposed to end at 5, but I needed to be packed up and out of the space before 5, like around 5 to 15 minutes prior to 5 o'clock. They wanted us out. So, so we got there, me and my friend got there around 2:15, 2:30ish, and we could get a few things set up. I had a tripod or an easel because I had a poster. I knew I wanted a poster with my information um, about my book signing that I could post in the actual space or the library space. So I ordered that ahead of time. I actually ordered that through Canva, and it came out so nice. I had to get a frame for it. On Canva, you can actually buy the poster with the frame. It's kind of weird how it's described. It's described as a poster. So I didn't know if the graphic was going to be on a poster board, like that was the base product, or you can order it with a frame at an additional cost. So I just ordered the poster. Well, it wasn't an actual poster, it was basically a picture. So it didn't have a poster board behind it. It wasn't attached to an actual poster board. So I had to get a frame. So I got a frame. So that was an additional cost. It probably would have been better to just order it in the frame on Canva. But, anyways, that's hindsight. Just FYI, if you order the poster through Canva, it's not an actual poster, it's a picture. So, like a floppy, like actual picture, and you have to frame it in order for it to sit on the easel. The frame was, I don't know, maybe $15. I can't remember. The actual picture poster from Canva was actually $18, around $18, $19. And then I had to go pick it up from one of the places that offers printing, like FedEx. And that's when I realized that it wasn't an actual poster. I have to say the pricing of frames have gone up significantly because I was not expecting to pay what I paid. I think I might have paid an additional $15 to $20 for the actual frame. So it would have been better to just order it on Canva with the actual frame. If I order another poster, I will order it with the frame through Canva. And I probably will. I have another event coming up, another author event. It's not my event personally, but I found this event through Eventbrite where there's all these authors that are going to be there selling their books, offering book signings, and all of that. So, anyways, I digress. But I will say the graphic through Canva was beautiful. The print was beautiful. If I would have known in my mind, I would have booked the event for 3 to 4 hours, at least 3.5 hours. That would have allowed me time to set up like the food, the refreshments, where I wanted the book set up, all of that stuff before people actually started showing up. And that's what happened. We were waiting for the people that were the event that was in there prior to us to wrap up. People started coming and I had the easel set up. We had brought the refreshments and the books in, and they were sitting outside the event space so that we could just walk in and set up. But because people actually arrived early, and so I was greeting people and talking to different people, um, people were even asking me questions about my book that were already in the library because they saw my poster outside the venue space, the room where we were going to set up, and they wanted to know what the book was about. So I was, talking to different people. People started coming out of the room that we had reserved. They were coming out and they were asking questions, and it was challenging. But I did actually get a sale from one of them. Thankfully, I had some people helping me that were able to start like taking the stuff in while I was busy talking to people. They had started setting up in the room and trying to wrangle out the stragglers that were still in the room, like talking. Another thing that I don't think anybody mentioned during my homework is having a microphone. So I knew I wanted to have a microphone in the space. It wasn't a large space, but it was a decent sized space. When you're talking a lot, you have a tendency to lose your voice. And so I didn't want to be exerting so much that I ended up losing my voice. So my husband, because he does events all the time, he has a speaker. So he brought his speaker and borrowed a microphone from our church, and he brought that. He had that set up. So that was another thing to set up prior to the event that you should be aware of. I would have loved for things to be a little more organized, but I didn't let myself get bent out of shape about it. Like, it was like, it's going to all work out. That's kind of my mindset in life, especially in this surrender season. It's like, it'll all work out. It'll all work out. So even though things were a cluster and things didn't go exactly how I would have wanted them to, it was fine. But that's why I wanted to come on here and record this video and just talk about my experience. It wasn't perfect, but it was perfect because people showed out. There was standing room only. The library was so generous and kind to bring in more chairs, even though some people still stood by choice. But it was amazing that people showed up. They showed up on time, early. And so we started off. I had my brother give a small prayer, and then Tim talked first, and then he introduced me. and then I spoke for about 20 minutes, talked about the book and my journey of writing this book and how it all came about. And then I opened the floor up for questions, received several questions, several comments, and it was amazing. It was so heartfelt, like just to hear the feedback. I read some testimonies that I received about the book. Oh yeah, I let my pastor speak again, and Tim said a few more words, and then I stopped so that we could have time for me to sign some books. I sat down, talked to people, signed their books. Uh, my sister-in-law jumped in. She received the money for the people that were purchasing the books. That's another thing. And I need to do some more research on this, especially for the event that I'm about to do next month. People will come and want to pay by cash. And even if you have change, even if you bring change, if you don't have like a bank, like a full bank of change, you still may run out of change quickly. Like if everybody is giving you a $20 bill, you're still going to run out of change quickly. So I need to find out how to efficiently set up my vendor booth next month or even in the future of how to receive cash payments. So I did have a sheet. I had a QR code for my Cash App, and then I also had Tap, credit card Tap. So I could receive payments, and I also had the prices. I had prices for the one book, two books, three books, and four books. So we're not trying to do the math on the spot. Another thing that you definitely should have is a calculator. And that is something that I found out through my research. So yeah, so after I finished signing books, I took some pictures. I was taking pictures here and there, like even before the event, I took some pictures outside the event space, and then also inside, I took some pictures. After I signed books, it was time to wrap up. The library personnel came in and let us know how much time we had to back up. And so we had to wrap up really quickly, and we did. And we were out a little before 5 o'clock. So, and then after that, we had a few of us went and had an after party dinner. I didn't even eat before the event. I had planned to grab a bite to eat at home because my event didn't start until 3. I had yogurt. So I did have yogurt. I did have something on my stomach. So that's one thing to be aware of. Eating prior to the actual event, deciding if you even want to have an after dinner party. So that is what we did. We just went to this restaurant that we go to frequently. It was a few of us that got together, and it was amazing. So overall, it was an amazing experience. I would do it again, and I probably will because there's some other spaces that are more aesthetic, like actual bookstores. The longer that it's out, I want to actually have events, even maybe a book tour where I go around to different libraries and bookstores and have book signings slash Q&A. So that is something that I am interested in doing. But yeah, for this to be my first experience and it was an afterthought, it was amazing. People showed up. I felt the love. It was it was so amazing. I wish I could see how everybody else saw it. People have commented on how amazing it was, but it's like I wish I could see it from somebody else's perspective. Since I was the one that was up speaking, so but it was amazing. Like I was comfortable talking, even though I'm not a talker. I think that's it. Uh, Thanks for watching. I'll link where you can purchase the book down below and other information. I am also doing a series where I am reading my book, 7 Years to Surrender, My Journey to Faith, and giving the backstory of each chapter. So you can check those out. The next chapter that I will be reading is chapter, I think, 9. The next chapter I will be reading is chapter 8, Hello, Cincy. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye. One more quick thing. If you're going to be talking, you might want to put Vaseline on your teeth or keep a bottle of water nearby because at one point my mouth did get dry while I was talking. So, yeah, just FYI. All right, bye.